I'm gonna dig into your past, how you dig into mine. I already know a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of surprises coming up over here. The other siblings are gonna get a little bit exposed.
Okay, so Libby, are you cool with Andrei exposing your siblings?
I mean, if you walk into it, that's on you.
It's blowing your mind because you're crazy, Beth.
No, I'm not crazy. You
Let's talk about the boat fight that recently happened with you, Elizabeth, and your sister, Becky. I'm sure you watched that back, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, how did you feel watching that back?
It just brought back all of my feelings of anger that I had in that moment and just pissed me off again. And I literally felt so amazing, like watching myself just finally like putting them in their place and telling my family how I feel about how they've been treating him for so many years.
You keep calling him names.
Well, Andrei, how do you feel about your wife defending you so strongly?
It's about time. That's how I feel.
I've always defended you, babe. Always defended you, but I've never got into a physicality with my family to the point where I'm so pissed off
They
that
don't understand. That's
words don't mean enough, and I just have to literally like touch you.
Well, Libby, you mentioned that when you feel like your family is attacking Andrei, you feel as if they're attacking you. Can you break that down a little bit? Because I don't necessarily see it that way, because Andrei's actions are Andrei's actions, and sometimes they have nothing to do with you.
Look, at the end of the day, I'm always going to have my husband's side. I'm always going to fight for him. And I feel like my family is disrespecting him, then I'm going to stand up for him and I'm going to speak my mind.
You want a loan?
Like $100,000, maybe.
Well, let's get into the money. There's been a lot of criticism when it comes to you asking Chuck for $100,000. What's your response to everything that the fans are saying right now?
I don't feel bad at all because I'm asking for $100K. I'm not asking for just like give it to me. I'm asking like as an investment. And in fact, everybody did that to Chuck. Everybody got the same treatment. Like he's been helping like his sons and his daughters in all kind of way. He's been giving them money. Just like for starters to Charlie. They gave it to Jen. Like when he started. We just don't want to share. The thing is, they're selfish.
I'm actually the only one he hasn't given money to like that before as an investment. Like he considered you before he considered me.
Exactly.
Which is kind of ironic.
I think one issue was, okay, you're asking for a lot of money, but the other issue is how you asked for it. It came off a bit entitled to fans, as if Chuck is obligated to give you this money, or you haven't necessarily shown him that you're good at the craft and you're asking for such a lump sum of money.
I think that people have a hard time with your delivery because of where you're from. You're very abrupt and you're very straight to the point. And I feel like some people take that as being rude or something when he's actually that's just how he talks.
I don't feel entitled at all if I'm being direct. Maybe the truth and hurts sometimes, and the reality hurts some people. But what can I do? It is what it is. Like if you don't like how I speak, you don't listen to me. But the fact is, I'm lucky enough to Chuck hearing what I have to say because I'm married to his daughter, and his daughter needs the same treatment as the other siblings. That's why I ask. And I want the same opportunities as everybody else.
But it's not a treatment, though. That's the
give them money.
That's the confusion. It's an investment.
Yeah.
Whatever they did with that investment is up to them. But we are different.
Yeah.
And we'll take it and run with it and actually make it into something. It's not just giving somebody money because they want money.
Right. Because I'm not just like spending it tomorrow. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, Libby, on top of the Moldovan wedding that Chuck paid for in the $100K, it's easy for people to think that you're allowing your husband to take advantage of your dad.
Not at all. It makes me laugh, and I don't see it that way at all because most dads traditionally in America pay for the bride's wedding. So it's not taking advantage of him. He's my dad. He's paying for my wedding, and that's okay. If he wants to do that, that's up to him.
And again, and
the $100K thing, like, let's not get confused. That was something that Andrei wanted to actually ask my dad. I told him how I felt about it, and I thought maybe it was too soon. And it wasn't my idea. That this was all him.
Andrei, in the most recent episode, you did admit to manipulating Chuck.
I said, if that's called manipulation.
Right, if that's called manipulation, I guess that's what I'm doing.
Right, exactly. If they feel that I'm manipulating and they feel that this is how I act, like you can call it whatever you want, but goal for me is to just achieve my target. I don't care like how you treat my behavior. For me, personally, like I just look as selfishly as it sounds, like what for my family and what is good. And for the rest, I don't care like if they treat my delivery bad. It's not my problem.
Yeah, but at the same time, my dad's not an idiot, and he appreciates your work ethic and who you are. I think at this point, you guys have started to build that, and you understand each other more. So, if he thought by any means that he was taking advantage of him or manipulating him, I think that he would probably be like, okay, hold on a minute.
He's gonna warm up to me. I know how to get around.
Yeah. Andrei, just stop talking. Don't
It's
say
like
that.
this mastermind of the family.
Right.
It's like, I'm gonna manipulate everyone. Like,
Right.
no, you're smart, but I don't think you're that smart.
Okay.
Andrei, did you ever consider finding a job outside of the family business, considering that you and Libby's family really don't get along?
You know, maybe, but you know what? I'm gonna use the resources over here. It's kind of hard at this moment of time with like immigration and stuff like this. But at the same time, there's millions over here circling around, and why not just dip my hands in it? So, if it's money talk, I'm up for the fight. This is what it takes. I'm just gonna fight for it.
You're completely jealous of the fact that I'm trying to start building something. If Charlie and Rebecca are gonna act like this, I'm just gonna quit.
Well, do you think your pride, Andrei, gets in the way of having a better relationship with Libby's family?
Maybe I'm prideful, but I don't think that's a good. That's a bad. I don't think that's a bad skill. Not skill. What is this? This trait to have.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said before, I'm up for a fight. If somebody tries to mess with me, I'm gonna prove that you're wrong, and I'm gonna dig into your past, how you dig into mine. I already know a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of surprises coming up over here in the upcoming episodes. Oh yeah.
More than what we've experienced already?
Oh yeah, it's gonna get harsh, right? Like right now it's gonna get fiery.
Oh, and this is your doing, Andrei? What can you tease? Give us a little bit more than that.
It's gonna come some surprises over here and some investigation that I did and what I knew, what I discovered while working with Chuck, what matters the rest of the family. So it's gonna become interesting because it's not what really everybody was thinking about me. It's actually the reality about the other siblings in my family. Like the other siblings are gonna get a little bit exposed.
It's just so much stuff in one. It almost feels like 2 seasons because it's just so many things going on up and down, all over the place.
Well, they stepped on my tail. Now they have to, they're gonna get the bear.
So in other words, he's saying, "Don't mess with me."
Okay, so Libby, are you cool with Andrei exposing your siblings?
I mean, if you walk into it, that's on you.
Well, they set up the punch.
They've done a lot of things that pissed me off, and at this point, I'm just like, you guys were asking for it,
right?
Because he told them, he's like,
I'm gonna hit you with reality. I told them before, this is what it is.
Okay, well, let's nip this in the bud because lately I've been seeing a lot of fans think that the show is scripted, and especially your boat fight with your sister Becky. So can you clear that up a bit for those who are listening?
Honestly, a part of me almost wishes that it was scripted so I wouldn't have to go through all of this crap that I'm going through, but no, it's definitely not.
I think they're coming from a family with a lot of people, and their fights already are so, they're so used to those fights. They're not even thinking about this. They're already just making it happen, and they're like, oh, let's square it up. And after this, the second day, they're like, oh, let's just kiss and make up. This is normality. Even before I came over here, this is how they do it over here.
What he's saying is my family has always been somewhat chaotic, and we've always had our riffraffs, and we fought here and there. And now it's gotten really real because my husband's in the picture. So I feel like it's maybe a territorial thing for my family, and they're just always wanting to be protective of me, but they're almost disrespecting me in a way that I don't think that they see. So I definitely am not holding back, and I'm just over it at this point.